All right, how is everyone doing today? And welcome to my channel. This channel is for educational purposes, and we are here to inform you about stuff that you might not know about, but it's stuff that is crucial for your continuing quest for better spiritual, mental, and physical health. And this is a feature that we have that is called the Q-tip of the spear, and this is for the truthers and the anons and the diggers out there who have been at the tip of the spear, as far as I'm concerned, delivering podcasts um, from that perspective. And this is just a recap of the day's events. And for me, one of the highlights of the day is the executive order that was signed for the continuing research into the effects of psychedelics. And, you know, this is pretty interesting. Now, I know that psychedelics have done wonders for me, and they have done wonders for a lot of people suffering from PTSD and um, other forms of trauma. They allow you to probe into your mind and spirit and kind of figure out what's going on, slows things down a little bit, and allows you to see into the, uh, which Carlos Castaneda called the separate reality. And, but what's kind of interesting is, the source. The I think the Christian patriots are kind of against this whole thing. You know, they uh, see this as being of, you know, possibly satanic and definitely pagan uh, provenance, and that it is, they didn't talk about psychedelics in the Bible or whatever. Um, Even though you might want to check out John Allegro's book, The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. Um, and of course, Terence McKenna's stuff, Food of the Gods, Archaic Revival. And and the Carlos Castaneda books. I mean, these are, uh, you know, naysayers say, "Oh, these are fictional stories. They never have." It doesn't matter. It's the story um, that is realistic. Um, Certainly, according to the trips that I've taken. But I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about it. Some Christian chimes in, you know, oh, I took them once and I had such a bad experience. And like as if that's some kind of reason um, to be against it. Um, I remember one time, maybe 15 plus years ago, I was living in a house with a bunch of people, and uh, one of whom was a very experienced Buddhist meditator, had done a lot of overseas Far East retreats, at least some, and not so experienced on the psychedelics as me or anything, but he had taken them before and was very open to the idea. And I was living with him at the time, and he had a big trip. Um, and I just remember listening to him, just like in the bathroom, just like retching, And I'm thinking, oh, he's having a bad trip. What's going on with him? I'm not tripping at all. You know, I'm just like, oh boy, this is gonna be a long night for him. Uh, I mean, I felt for him, you know. Uh, and but he kind of taught me a lesson. The next day or the day after, whenever I saw him again, I was like, it sounded like you were having a rough go of it the other night with the tripping, uh, you know. And he's just like, oh man, that was incredible. I really, I really had a profound experience, and that was um, just what I needed to be doing. And you know, it was really wonderful, you know. And so, it really is what you make of it, you know. Um, but people who, the whole thing is the context that you take them in. And even, I mean, even marijuana can be a psychedelic, and can be used in this way if you take it in the right context, with the right approach, with the right amount of reverence for the plants, and engaging in the right activities. If you're going to get a bag of Doritos and sit in front of the television and watch a sitcom, well, you might not you might not get too much out of it, and it might, kind of dull your mind. But if you take it in the context of a meditation or a procedure that you have scripted out, um, and in uh, you allow yourself to be in nature. You engage with music, either listening or playing music yourself. You do all kinds of things that are accentuated by the by the substance, then you can have a great experience. Um, but if you take it as a party, a party thing, then you might have a negative experience or might not. It's a crapshoot. But if you take it with a seriousness, it doesn't matter whether you have a good or so-called good or bad experience. As you know, in life, some of your most profound learning experiences are negative. You have to learn your lesson. You don't learn that many lessons from success. You learn more from failure. So, um, but I thought that it was a little bit off target to um, kind of uh, I don't necessarily really like the part about the psychedelics being, you know, um, kind of put under the umbrella of all these doctors, and that you know, it will be used in laboratory type settings, or, with the supervision of doctors. I, I, I get it that you want to make it um, authoritative, but I hope that doesn't get rid of you know, the natural aspects of it. I feel like most psychedelics, at least that I've encountered, are really accentuated by being out in nature, even though I'm not really, a huge nature guy. I don't, I'm not like an outdoorsman, but I've noticed that. And also, music is really profound, both playing and listening. So I hope that it doesn't become too clinical. But in general, I'm excited about the developments and that at least these things are being studied. There's a lot of things that the scientific community refuses to study because they don't, first of all, because nobody is paying for the study. The powers that be have no investment in this, and so they're not going to actually fund a study of such a thing. But also, they don't want to know what the results of the study will be because they'll be like 1,000 times better than anything that you know, the industry has been able to concoct so far. So we'll see what happens. It's an exciting development, and um, you know, I think that it's going to be very good for a lot of people. Um, so there are a lot of people who have got a lot of trauma, and but it is a slow process. So, all right, like, share, subscribe, comment, contribute, and we will see you next time on the Q-tip of the spear.